creme brulee.
Toast
with a
it.
hot glass.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh.
Oh, it's boiling. I
Whoa,
don't know.
the
I think
plume
you could eat
shooter.
that one.
Let me show you how to really get that thing hot, Oliver.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Oh, no.
Come on, I like it real crispy.
I think I got to show you guys how to put a little heat on it.
What? That looks just right.
I think
Now
Oliver's, look at
good in that fire, though.
Honestly, it looks pretty
delicious.
good.
It
Why is
smells
it-
good.
The plate burned up, but not the pie.
I think mine's gonna be the best.
Oliver's
Oliver's
looking
does
pretty
look
good.
pretty
I
good,
know,
though.
Oliver's looks perfect.
All right, I'll try Oliver's.
I'll try
I'm
Oliver's.
gonna try Oliver's.
Well,
It is pumpkin season. It smells like pumpkin pie now. Seems a little ridiculous, but you're here at the Glass Academy.
nice
Where
work,
we take-
Oliver.
Hot
That's
glass.
not bad, Oliver.
Nice work. Hey, it's crispy.
That's pretty crispy.
I'm gonna try Chris's.
Yes, we are going to be doing some glass blowing. I'm going to follow Jake right over here, where he's going to get one of these nice, tasty, hot blow pipes. And he's going to be making something. It's the warmer upper piece.
Folks, we've got big news. It's Tuesday, and it's show 286, and we're here on the gathering point.
Is that our new pumpkin shirt or last year's?
This was last year's pumpkin shirt. I'm saving my new fresh one for our pumpkin show.
What's the big news?
It's show 286.
Oh,
No,
I thought you were going to tell him that we lit up our other tasty new furnace.
I had like 6 different news articles flat through my mind. And then I was like, all it is show 286. But it's true. It's
Oliver got to
completely
eat
true.
the rest of the pie. Smart man.
What am I making again?
Huh?
What are we making again?
That one still
Whatever
looks good.
you want.
Just got a little ash around it.
Oliver, would you sprinkle? Look at this beautiful color display today, folks.
Honestly, that pie smells so good from over here.
It is
Doesn't it?
fresh and it looks like it's still burning.
Do we got smell-o-vision here?
So Oliver's sprinkling down some of the beautiful signature sparkly glass that Jake's going to be picking up on the outside of this year's signature orange pumpkin. And we only do one signature pumpkin a year. We actually make more than one, but we pick one style that is a collectible signature pumpkin, and we only make so many of them. And we do different things. We don't just do signature pumpkins. We do signature acorns. Actually, do we do signature acorns?
No.
We do signature drinkware, pumpkin-style drinkware, which is super sweet.
Oh, we're about to do a signature acorn today, though.
Yes, we should.
We were talking about it.
And I think that a signature acorn would look tasty, but all the stuff, when you guys see the table, the featured table tonight, there is like 17 or 18 items on there that's going to blow your mind. We're talking full-blown harvest bonanza.
So tonight the show is going to be focused on that specific signature color pattern. However, it's not just going to be pumpkins. It's going to be all types of other products.
Harvest
piece,
products, right?
Harvest products. This piece is for our subscribing members.
Should we let this burn?
You can put it out.
How many of you guys were watching the show when we did Will It Burn?
Oh, why is it so wobbly? What's going on?
It's just a little extra mojo for the piece,
All
I
right,
guess.
Beth, can you tell us who's in the house tonight?
Absolutely. So over on the YT side, we've got Carol says hi from Sarnia. Dave says, hey, glass blower from New York here.
All right.
Norman says, hello, everyone from Bloomington, Indiana. Angel says, good afternoon, beautiful people. Art blower from Formosa, Argentina. Have an excellent show.
Oh, nice. Thank you, thank you.
Over on the FV side, we've got Sharon says hello. We've got Dana says, hey from Georgia. Carrie says, hi, GA friends. Donna says, hey, everyone from Twinsburg. Annette says, hi from Illinois. Lori says, hi from Ohio.
Good.
Let's see. Sierra says, hello from Tawa City. Everybody
look
says,
at that
I loved
sparkle.
watching Will It Burn.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
want to bring Will It Burn back in some capacity.
I think they say, isn't that how they say it? Don't they say back by popular demand?
Will it burn?
It burn. Bum, 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 ba, bum, bum.
So from deep within the mind, I've been reminded of a beautiful style of glass, perfect for harvest beverage drinking or some sort of harvest flower bouquet. This is our bright orange with the ultra bling bling sparkle glass on it, and we're going to go for a Pilsner glass here.
Nice. So Pilsner, aka possible vase. In between you're having your Pilsner out of your Pilsner glass, you just put some water and
Blow.
I wonder if you put flowers in a Pilsner glass with a Pilsner beer, you think it would make the flowers like more like cool looking?
This color pattern, it would just produce a pumpkin.
Yeah, it probably would
my
turn
grandma
into a
used to
pumpkin.
say that if you took Sprite and you watered your bouquet of flowers with Sprite, it made the flowers like become a little more like
Dead?
springy and like that absorbed the stuff.
Sugar water.
Sugar water pretty
You have-
much
you
is
have
what
to-
Sprite is, folks.
So it's not
Put a
enough that
preservative.
humans are addicted to sugar. We're gonna addict the plant
Yeah.
population too.
You can also put a copper penny in there.
Like this whole plant called sugar cane.
I don't know anything about sugar
There's
cane.
already a plant that's completely sugared.
Blow.
Isn't there a sugar
What were you
beet?
saying,
There's a
Albert?
vegetable too, the
Jeez.
sugar beet.
Oh, that's just beautiful. Stop.
There's a lot of blinging
Look
in there.
at that.
You guys all catching that? See that like sparkle?
That looks like mug to me, man.
It does look like mug shape.
We did talk about mug shape. Okay, because we have a lot of interest in the table tonight.
Uh-oh.
I'm going
What?
to pop over. Red Rover, Red Rover.
Lemon yellow foot.
This is what we got on the show tonight.
Got a lot of pretty things up there.
Yeah, and this is the sparkle. You can see it in this piece. That's the pattern they're working on right now.
Judy says hi from New York. Katrina says hello from Chicagoland. Vicky says hello from the thumb. Carol says, is that pumpkin pie smoke over there? Yeah, it's finally stopped burning and it's just kind of smoking now.
The smoking
Smoldering.
pie. They don't want to see that though, because they're going to see what it really looks like. Because we're all going to eat this during the show. Just give them a quick close-up, Shell.
Bess, did you introduce yourself to everybody as the newlywed?
There's already been a ton of comments.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
She looks different, doesn't she?
She
you
does
guys?
look a little different.
She's
Yeah.
got a significant other that's legal.
Yes.
Oh, that sounds scary
Whoa.
when you put it that way.
So we're gonna drop a chartreuse green foot onto the bottom here for less of like the emerald green, more of like a harvesty, underripe green perhaps.
I like when you guys go for the underripe look.
I do too, I like it. And just one coat's beautiful because when you put something on as a foot, when it's double layered and it's solid and you're looking through it, you don't want extra color because it just darkens the situation. So Oliver's going for a serious, beautifully sized, perfect looking foot here. I'm gonna swing around to this side. And he's gonna drop it real hot. And this is tough. This is tough for an assistant to do. It's tough for us to catch it. But we are in drinkware mode being at the Renaissance. And as we say every week, working at home base here for the Gathering Point show is an honor and a treat.
Honor and a tree.
Ooh, that looked nice and soft.
No, that was pretty nice. I was just mentioning to one of our glass blowers earlier today how nice it is when you're blowing glass and you cut something and it makes no sound. Ooh, this is going to be so symmetrical because I got the 12 ribs going for 12
Oh,
cuts.
you're just cutting right where the ribs are.
Right in between each rib so I can get in there good. Oh, yeah. That's right. And so...
Bring you a different cut in here, and it's all got green on it.
No, that's fine. Green's cool. Well, anywho, this is called the pillow foot in my mind. Turns away from a pillow foot into more of a flowering foot when we take these 12 cuts and these 12 bulges hanging off the side of the bottom and we superheat them so they round out into these beautiful pillowing shapes. But then what's different with this one is that we're going to give it the super squish, Oliver, and we're going to flute that foot out, squish them all back together.
All right. I'm just going to get some heat on this while I can. I'll meet you over there.
Sounds like a plan. I'm looking forward to getting over to the comments and seeing what's up with everyone. We got Bess monitoring them, Michelle on the camera, Oliver's here on the show, Chris is on the show. It's a beautiful day, and this is a beautiful foot. Perfect. Oh man, look at this situation.
This is the first show. We made some major changes to the studio.
That's a fact.
Cuh.
Notice.
Yep.
I can't believe that was less than a week ago.
New furnace
I
going
want
to be
to chill
turned
this a little
on
quick with the
shortly.
pipe cooler.
Other new furnace over there.
Furnace number 2 is on. We now have the hole moved over. We have the garage here. We have Bess over there, our rotating marvering table. We've got a really beautiful situation going on.
Did you just call me a rotating marvering table?
That's exactly right.
Perfect.
I did want to mention a little bit of technical information here, guys, about the furnace, which I think is pretty cool, is that we fired it up today. This is the second one, and we're only keeping it about 200 degrees for about a week. 5 days we're going to have this thing cooking, maybe 6, to get all the moisture out of the core of the furnace, because it's made with castable and refractory. It's got moisture in it, and you need to dry the furnace out before you fire it up. If you fire it up too hot, too quickly, it'll actually boil the water, and the furnace will have issues with explosion stuff.
Did you just
All
say
right,
explosion?
Yeah, but it looks like it was perfect.
Let's go back to castable. For those of you who are just like regular lay people and may not know, castable is like a way
Pretty
of saying
close.
cement. Castable is cement. It's like you go get a bag of cement at Home Depot, mix it up,
Couple
put
of
it
them.
in a mold, and voila.
So there we go, folks. In the words explosion, we perfectly trimmed the lip up here to make this a mini mug.
I
That's
like mini
right.
mugs. That's about my size.
We had one out at the Renaissance Festival this past weekend that I made that was like 12 inches tall, and then Jake took it from me and it exploded and
Okay,
ended
just-
up being a little tiny one.
For the record, I'm guessing most people don't even understand what just happened.
Yeah.
They don't.
Let's
you
break
guys
it down
don't?
for 'em.
Let me break it down for you folks. What happened was this piece was blown pretty darn thin. He's trimming it right now, but we punted it up, and he put a little water on it. He gave it to me. I went and flashed it, and it just got a little bit too cold, just by probably 100 degrees. And when he went into the glory hole to heat it up, it actually cracked, and about the top third of the piece fell off into the glory hole. Now, luckily, we have Oliver on call at all moments of time, that if anything goes into the glory hole, he immediately grabs a random punty rod and goes in there and gets it out. Oliver,
Right out.
tell him about it, Oliver.
We scooped it right out. We had to. Listen, glass only belongs in the furnace. It doesn't belong in the glory hole unless you're reheating something. So if it falls in there, get it out.
Yeah,
No bueno.
very corrosive.
So there it is. No paddle necessary. We've got a nice lip on here.
The smack back.
And
Every piece tells a story.
every piece tells a story. So we went from about this tall to about that tall. The really cool thing is the way it broke.
I think
You've
you should
got
put the
these
handle
little
on that side, the tie
nibbles
side.
and thick spots. You're seeing the optics in there.
Do the handle on the high side.
High side handle.
Yeah. It'll look really
Or
beautiful.
put a spout on the high side and put a handle on the other side and make it a
Creamer?
pumpkin creamer.
Creamer pour?
What do you guys think? You got a minute? Put it in the chat. Creamer or mug?
I don't think we've ever made a pumpkin spiced creamer applicator.
Is
Yeah.
this a members only piece?
This is a members only piece.
But
we got
the
the tech
people
crew
can
looking,
vote.
looking highly
Start
at the
the handle?
comments.
Up.
While you're looking, I'll go
Click-a-late.
over the table for a second. We got to buy some time. This is when you go to a commercial
Did I
break.
just snort into the microphone?
A little
Sal-
bit.
Sure.
It's leaning towards creamer right now.
It is. You guys can't hear Oliver. He says it's leaning towards creamer right now. I've got 4 or 5 for creamer and 2 for mug.
5 people want to see the creamer live on camera.
They sure do.
One of those people is my grandma.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Sharon does want to see that marker rock slide.
Yeah, I thought about that, Sharon, but it was going to be a deep and difficult trim. It's kind of like mug thickness, and going that wide around a piece, by the time I get there, it's going to be a stiff, long hanging piece. It's going to come back and tag and slice open my whole forearm.
Sounds pretty aggressive,
I
Jay.
think
know.
the creamer is good. Then you could, at your pumpkin, like Thanksgiving, at your pumpkin festivals, you could have your creamer after when you're having pumpkin pie.
Well,
And
I
coffee.
know if someone's a subscribed member, either a loyalty league or a star supporter, which we'll have information come out on the show about that, and you're willing and interested in purchasing this piece, you do know that you can't put hot liquids into hand sculpted soft glass, which is what we work with here at the Glass
That's why
Academy.
a creamer is perfect.
So
'cause
that's
it's
why
cool.
a cool, dairy powerful creamer.
Or dairy
Definitely
substitute.
Definitely a big difference between creamer and gravy boat.
Yeah. Yep. All right, Oliver, if you wouldn't mind grabbing the old handle tool, unless I remember that one was hidden in here the other day.
That's just for you, dude.
Lovely.
The S handle. Super smooth.
Yes, that is what it is.
Try to just turn this into a stamper.
Good, yeah. You
If
use
you're
a torch
new
maybe
to
to put the
us-
spout on the other end?
And you're following us on
Sounds cool.
YouTube.
Wake them up.
Doesn't cost anything, free, and subscribe to our channel. We're looking to get 4,000 people by next week for our virtual show. We're at 3,900.
Ah.
Can we do it? Share with your friends and family. We'd love to have you subscribe to the channel.
That looks like a pumpkin stem to me.
There's a lot of curlage going on.
All right, I'm going to go deliver this to table number 4.
Pumpkin pie delivery. So it's
Everybody loves the handle.
all right.
It's very, like when we did those numbers, it's very suggestive and fluid.
Yeah, it does flow
like
very nicely.
calligraphy,
Yes,
right?
right.
I like it.
Got a couple more people saying hello over on the YT side. We've got Icarus says super excited to see the work you guys make. Amy says hello, lovely people tuning in on my phone from the marsh.
What up,
Hello,
Amy?
Amy.
Susan says hi from Indiana. Greg says, well, hello, everyone. Michael says hello from the cozy cabin. Picked up some new Glass Academy art at the Ren Fest Saturday, and we are absolutely loving it.
Nice.
What were you gonna say?
I was going to say we could say that. How many people are from the Ren Fest? This is the first time they're seeing us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that is a harvest. And now remember that this is going to be a beautiful chartreuse transparent green on the bottom. That's an iridescent gold handle. We're going to metallicize it right now.
I I can see the glitter from here.
It's blinging. And you're starting to see little cracks down here on the very bottom of the punty. I'm hearing them. I'm hoping they don't fall onto my hand right now. But that's our telltale sign that this piece is ready to go.
Do you think blowing out at the Renaissance with a different firing of the glass and being outdoors, like your timing gets off when you come back to the studio?
I think that probably makes sense. But when we say that it's ready to go, you guys, watch how tenderly I'm going to tap this thing.
No one's around. It's just me.
Nobody's
and you,
here.
Jake.
I got it.
Coming on tour.
What's up, Amy? Amy's tuned in from the marsh.
Marsh.
Don't know where that's at.
The marsh? Marshlands?
From the marsh.
I think she might be in the marsh. Yep. That's one gorgeous looking creamer, guys. And that thing is available only to the Loyal League folks first. If it lasts the test of the purchase button finger
Nice.
treatment, then, and nobody gets it, then it might be available down the road. But I think this thing's a pretty sweet looking harvest creamer. Looking good. Oh, Michelle's showing off the bar back. Looking pretty good.
Got a lot of progress.
Yeah, it's
All
coming
right,
along.
who's up next?
See, we have Beth says, Michigan Ren Fest visitor a few weeks ago. My first time tuning in was the tornado. Love seeing the pieces come to life. That was a fun time.
The tornado show. So you pretty much just like figured out that, you know, crazy situations of losing power do happen in Dearborn.
So here's, if tonight's question, we'll get to it early. If glass could talk, what would it say when it's being blown?
It's a fun question.
I
I
love
know.
that question.
And you send your answers right here. And you're entered to win. Tonight's winner will receive this cool pumpkin harvest themed mushroom.
Nope, that's last week's winner that's receiving that.
Like who wins tonight?
Who wins tonight will receive what we make on this show.
It hasn't been made yet.
The
No,
very
no.
final piece of the show.
Okay, the people who submitted last week, we pick you tonight, is what I meant.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
All
All
right,
right,
I
we're all
got
on
it
the same
gathered
page.
up
I know,
over
did
here.
I just confuse everyone?
It's all right. We got to figure it out.
We got to figure it out.
Teeny says, hello from Melbourne, Australia. Hello.
Yeah.
Nice.
Seeing all the different countries that log on.
It's a beautiful, beautiful first day of fall here at the Glass Academy. The weather's cool. It finally rained a little bit. And we have been blowing glass since 8 a.m. once again. 2 shifts of glass blowers. We're in full production mode. And when that happens and you're completely warmed up, we usually call that first piece the warmer-upper, but we are warm to the core, I would say. And, you know, it's ironic that that first piece had an issue with it to begin with, that we saved and made beautiful, but things are coming out beautifully around here. We're making a lot of incredible pumpkins, a lot of beautiful pieces of drinkware, and Chris is taking this one away. This is the next piece of the show that's going to be available to anyone who wants to purchase it on the Glass Academy's website,
Which is?
glassacademy.com.
Pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward.
It is.
To our members, that creamer is already available now for purchase through your link.
Bess is moving fast over there.
Got
Fast fingers
today.
fast. She
Yeah.
got married and look what happened.
It's her brand new nails, maybe.
My brain has like room for things now.
Yeah, I believe that.
Will you guys put in the chat if you're married, how long you've been married? Let's see what's going on out there. Maybe you're married just a year
You don't
or a
have-
day
no
like
bubble?
Bess. Maybe you're single. We should start saying that. I've been single 5 years. I'm having my 5th year anniversary singleness.
All the single people out there celebrate.
I know. Like, why is it always like how many years you've been married? Like it's a prize.
I mean, that is a pretty cool accomplishment. It's a beautiful collaboration situation, but those people that are single, here I am, everybody. I'm the only one left. You got to celebrate that.
Right? That's what I'm getting at.
Whatever.
Hey, Oliver, I have to ask you, I know you're not mic'd up. Were you around when I did the t-shirt toss, or were you already gone?
Oh, you did a t-shirt toss at the wedding?
Yeah.
I was there when you tossed t-shirts, Bess. And I caught 2 of them, and I gave one to Robin.
Nice. So you guys both got one?
So Robin and her family got one, and then Kayla got one.
Nice. All right.
And what were on the t-shirts?
So I decided to do a t-shirt toss because I didn't want to do a garter toss. I feel like that's super awkward to do in front of people.
Don't they do flowers?
So we did flowers for like single ladies, and then we did a t-shirt toss for everybody. And so I made 10 t-shirts, and they all said, Bethany and Connor's exclusive commemorative wedding t-shirt with the date on it.
That's so cute.
So, good. I'm glad you guys got them. Robin says she and Jeff have been married for 43 years.
43 years? That's a pretty good couple.
Joyce
Who's been dating
says
that long?
32
Robin and Jeff?
years.
All
Carol
right.
says 25 years married, 20 years single and happy.
Yes.
See,
let's
that's what
go.
I'm saying.
We love the single people.
Oliver's grandparents just celebrated 50 years.
Yeah.
Mary says, can we see Bess's nails? I'm sure at
Yes.
some point we can.
Let's watch Chris let this thing dangle for 1 second, and then I'll take it over there. Look at how he's using gravity to let that elongate about twice as long as it was.
Kinda
Now
looks
he's going to turn it into... What's that?
I was talking to myself. I said it kind of looks like a pickle. Sorry.
I was
continue.
I was searching for something to call it. Yeah, it does have
looks
the
like a
pickle
like a
mojo.
cucumber pickle.
Oh, like a zucchini with all the
Put
vegetables?
those things up.
Ooh.
Got chrome going on them.
Those are like pearl.
Yeah, they're fun.
Blow.
All right, here comes old teamwork from the
Good.
boys. Oliver's blowing into the pipe. Chris is shaping up the neckline. That's where I broke it off the pipe on the last piece. And that's essential to have in order for that piece to get off of the pipe. And you're always looking at how much glass is left on the pipe. That is a supply of heat for the rest of the piece. If you're making something huge, you have to have a proportional, it's called moil, M-O-I-L, connected to the pipe to both hold the weight of it and provide the heat and the base to work off of. It's also something you don't want to have full of color. That's just sacrificial glass. It's going to become recycled glass down the line.
Blow, Oliver.
See that moil on the right there.
Good.
Ooh, look at this beautiful shape. Jeez.
All right, Ollie, we're going to take some
Take a
some
slow
leaves.
turn. Let me see that bling.
You want them in green or gold?
Jeez.
Let's do green.
And if you guys, I'm sure you saw on the table, but I'll show you right here. There's our 2 greens on the right, but there's our bright orange, and this is the same orange that's present on the table here. Our signature pumpkin orange on all these one-of-a-kind harvest goblets, folks.
And that table goes live in 2 minutes.
2 minutes that table goes live. We're figuring out a name for number 13, our bar color pumpkins that are going to be present on our virtual gallery show. That's a bonus one that snuck onto the table, so just keep that in mind. Next week's going to be an out-of-control Pumpkin Fest virtual harvest 2-hour show. Back to our 2-hour specials. Beautiful leaf presented by Oliver. Really, it was just a glob of glass.
The creamer is sold for our members.
The creamer?
Creamer sold.
Kramer's sold, and we got 2 minutes before the show goes live.
Look
the
at
table
Chris.
goes live. We
Going
got
to
someone over in
robotic.
Pakistan watching us.
Pakistan,
Very
sweet.
fun.
Really looking forward to getting over to Japan someday in the future to blow some glass with some cool, amazing artists that I'm going to reach out to and find someday.
Hey, why don't we set the intention like a college or something? Brings
You
us
just put
over.
it out there on Facebook.
I'm setting the intention right now. It's just been done. I've said it out loud. I've got a few different Instagram accounts I'm going to reach out to, but Japan's a destination spot I want to go to, but I know there's about, 1 million other
Do you wanna
amazing
go
countries
skiing?
that I would love to check out as well. I like to go when it's warm and there's blossoms and
Good skiing and snowboarding.
I love snowboarding, it's true.
Some of the best in the world.
That would be pretty baller.
All of my social media knows that I want to go to Japan, and I keep getting videos on like these little places you can go and like make your own chopsticks or make your own like kimonos. Like there's all kinds of stuff, and also the
Bonsais.
7-Elevens.
The 7-Elevens.
Yeah, the bonsai workshops are super cool.
So cool. We've got an amazing friend and patron of the arts, Carrie, who was just in town for the Ren Fair, and she took a class, a bonsai making class, and kind of got me reinvigorated on the bonsai idea. And then, Mom, you just gave me that bonsai book the other day, which I kind of started reading, and I think it might become my new pastime.
The
And wait
question
until
is,
you see the Christmas gift you're going to get.
do you make a bonsai or do you grow a bonsai?
Cultivate?
That was the word I was thinking of.
Cultivate?
Yeah.
Cultivating.
I really like that.
There's a little like hole in the wall shop. I'll have to get you the name of that Connor has bought 2 bonsais from.
Okay.
And it's not super far from here, and it's like this old house they turned into a
All
shop,
right,
and
we're
you
gonna
walk
put
in and they have like
a
just hundreds of
volio
different
and
kinds
then
of
3
bonsais.
feet.
That sounds like right up my alley.
Let's make it orange.
If anybody else has bonsais out there, let us know in the
Chartreuse
chat. Have you cared for a bonsai before?
Have you what your bonsai before?
Cared for, I mean cultivated a bonsai before.
I have quite a few times. I actually almost joined a bonsai club in Ann Arbor.
Really?
Some of the biggest ones in the Midwest.
That's
And
pretty
how are your
sweet.
bonsai growing now?
Dead. I didn't take out of the pot, bust off all the dirt, and then sensually massage the roots
Ah,
and
that'll
pour
do it.
my mojo into the roots.
Yeah.
And then soak them and then put it back in there and tie them all up with wire and then repack the soil
And then they died.
so it died.
Oh.
Well,
No,
you know
I-
what you got to do next time.
That's what you got to do.
So Chris is doing a better job than I was right now of heating up the entire piece and maintaining his heat
Yep.
up near the lip here as he's adding on these extra accents and pieces. And this has been a longer process than mine was as well, where he put those 3 leaves onto the body, and now he's going for an avolio. He's going for, I'll give him a paddle.
Can we just get an update
One
for
more
the chat
accent
on
piece.
what exactly the end goal of this is?
Have we heard what the end goal of this is?
Great question.
No,
I
but
could
I'm
make a
guessing if you
guess.
look at the table, it's
Push.
probably like number 2 or number 3.
Check it out, glassacademy.com.
Good?
Table is now live, by the way.
Jake, I can stand by you for a second. I do have a question about glass blowing that I haven't got a clarification from you and Chris on. We just dropped an avolio.
Yep.
And the avolio is always like this structural bit in a piece of stemware where you can add additions to, you can add decorative pieces, you can go for foot off there, but it's also always this hourglass shape. Specifically, is the avolio the hourglass shape, or is it something doing this function of being a structural part of the stem?
It's my understanding that in Italian, avolio means spool, correct? Is that correct, Dad?
That's right.
So if that's correct, then my process of deduction,
It'd be the shape.
it would be the shape.
Okay.
So I did just put the link to the table in the chat that is live, so good luck to those fast fingers. Sharon said she knows exactly where I'm talking about. It's called the Bonsai House. It's in Livonia.
I gotta check it out. If you guys are watching from out of state, out of country, this is our family business, family show 286, and we've been doing it since the pandemic, and we're in Dearborn, Michigan, which is the home of Henry Ford, and we're just about 15 minutes west of Detroit. And it's a destination spot, and we've given the members some serious progress content of the bar that's being built into our studio right now. We've got a really large studio, a really beautiful gallery, and we try and make as much of that possible present through the internet to you all once a week, plus extra bonus content as much as actually possible. I took a short, like 3-minute video today of the moments that this second furnace, our brand new 200-pound furnace, was fired up for the first time. That furnace should ideally never be turned off over the next 20 years, it's a pretty big moment that got turned on today. And that kind of content will go out to members when we get around to it.
Do you think that would be classified as the birth of number 2?
Number 2.
The birth of number 2?
That's right.
Well, we were talking about anniversaries. We should scribe the name on it, the date on it somewhere.
We should.
Have little parties, celebrate.
That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah. The furnace birthday party, I love that.
Because I remember growing up, they'd be like, I know just where I was when Kennedy was shot. You know, like all those kind of tragic things. Let's celebrate the good things. I know right where I was when we lit up the furnace.
Yeah, totally. I love that.
I was standing right next to it.
I can see that we got a lot of viewers on both Facebook and YouTube watching live, and we love that we get a lot of viewers after the fact. Not everyone's available on every Tuesday evening at 6 o'clock, but it's also a beautiful thing when you guys are watching the show. Not everyone likes to comment and engage in the conversation per se, but if you are watching the show and can send us a like or a comment or just share the feed out there, that costs nothing to you guys, or subscribe. But it is helpful if everyone likes this channel at the same time. It will tickle the algorithms.
Yeah, you know what we should do?
Whatever.
Maybe when we ring the bell, everyone should do a thumbs up.
Ooh.
Like Pavlov's dog, we can like get a response.
When the bell's rung, an emoji needs to be sent.
Right?
Kind of like that idea.
Send your favorite emoji.
So, Oliver, I think we're at the point in your glassblowing career, as you gather that up, I'll keep talking to you, that you know what kind of punny needs to be brought for this type of piece. And I'd like to know kind of what's going through your mind, and I'll walk next to you with the microphone when you get over here, when you're shaping up a punty for a piece this tall and this decadent compared to perhaps a mug like the one I was making, where there's a solid foot on it. Or even compared to like a pumpkin stem and the way you take your first gather there.
Are you like interviewing
Excellent
style?
question, great, Jake. I'm panicking.
Don't panic. Just talk your mind
this
as you're
is-
doing the most important part of the whole process.
Yeah, talking and working, perfect combo every time.
He's stalling.
This needs to be a lot more slender. It needs to be a lot more delicate. This has to be the most delicate piece that it gets attached. Otherwise, the most delicate piece is what's going to get broken off when we knock it off. So with a mug, there's a lot of security with the punty there. You have a lot going on through. There's a lot of weight. With this guy, it really needs to be dialed in.
Yep.
So he mentioned the word slender, and that's exactly what I was talking about a second ago with this ratio of mass on the moil. You can't have that. First of all, it can't be too thick because there's 3 leaves down there, and it would touch the leaves, and then you try and get it off, and it breaks a leaf off with it. Beautiful break. Nice flip around, Oliver. But also because it doesn't hold so much heat. When it's really thick like that, it carries its heat, holds its heat, and we don't want to be working on this piece forever. We say it a million times, but the glass forces us to move in a consistent and fluid and onward process all the time, especially when you're working with stemware and delicate, thin pieces. Your window of working time
Take a
is
little green lip wrap.
tiny and slim.
Slim, I know that guy.
Slim?
So Jake was featured in a commercial, and I like how he's holding his microphone. Because it was like he was on the commercial.
Pole worker ad. You guys might see it if you're in Michigan. I'm talking about working the poles. You guys remember last year, and it's going to happen this year. I'm going to have to miss a live show because you vote on Tuesdays.
Wait a second, it's not October 1st though, is it?
No, it's in November.
I'm teasing. So Oliver and I both first, when Jake was telling us, he's like, my pole working job, we both thought of like pole dancing.
Oh boy.
And it was like, what is he talking about?
Who knows? Anything could happen.
No, election polls. But you never know what might come out of Jake's mouth, especially after Renaissance. So pole dancing wasn't too far out of the picture. I mean, we do have exercise rings,
Yeah.
you know? Gabby does like the silk things that hang the curtains. I don't know what
The
those are
flipper
called.
rounders?
The silks.
Oh, I love the flipper rounders.
Those are classic.
We have 2 questions I'll read off. Mary says, around what date did you guys start the show? I would love to go back and watch them all.
My goodness. They're all on YouTube, and it was just during the pandemic when you really weren't allowed to socialize with anybody else. And
you know what's really funny? I just pulled out all the notebooks.
yeah.
And I'm going to show in a video of all the
Nice.
notebooks. I looked in it. We were doing them by hand. We were not doing YouTube in the beginning, only Facebook. We would PayPal everyone an invoice.
Yup.
Lucy was helping us.
Uh-huh.
It was only after the first couple shows that we started selling things on the lives.
And
Remember?
there was a time where there were the 4 of us, my sister and us 3, and it was so early on that, and let us know if you guys remember this, anyone watching, talk about being dated when Dad says some kind of funny old thing, but we can date our members here as to when they started watching the show. There was a live show where the cops showed up mid-show, folks.
Because we were doing the show with no masks on.
No masks
And
because we
someone
were all
called on
family
us.
living in the same household, and it wasn't one person. The cops came and said, we've had so many people call in that we had to come check this out and figure it out.
And he showed up without a mask, which was even funnier.
Yeah,
We wanted to see a printout.
it was hardcore. So they walked in the back door, and I think it was either Chris or Michelle, Mom, that went and
Did they guest
talked to
star on
him.
the live show?
Huh?
Yeah.
Did the cops guest star on the live show?
No, I think they stayed back there, and we just were like,
like,
what's
"What are you
going
doing?"
on? We're going to keep blowing glass.
We got a couple calls about you guys.
That was crazy.
I mean, eventually there's going to be so many episodes of The Gathering point we're going to look back and be like, if you were here in episode 286, you're an OG.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't wait. Looking forward to
Nope.
that.
Show
Quite
300
yet.
is going to be a rowdy one on New Year's Eve.
I won't be here. I will be
Very lightly.
watching on the internet.
You
I
will
won't be here.
I know. Yeah, we asked Sam if she's available. Sam might come in.
Stamper?
I am always gone the week between Christmas and New Year's, every single year.
Where do you go?
I go to Philly, go visit my family.
Philly.
Getting ready to put the stamper on her now. This is a nice little Pilsner, a stemmed Pilsner, or a beautiful Bud vase, guys.
Gorgeous.
Or girls.
You
That
put a little
is
mini
gorgeous.
sunflowers, some black-eyed Susans on there. That thing will be going crazy.
A lot of the pumpkins have been swept up off the table already.
Holy, it's harvest season.
It is.
So one of the reasons that we're doing the pieces on the show tonight that are super fancy is because next week's show is all about pumpkins. We've got so many different pumpkin styles that we want to do and show off and explore with you guys that we wanted to get the drinkware rolling this week. So this matches our signature color, but next week we're going to have some cane pumpkins. They have special cane colors in them. We're using some bar color, which makes the color very vibrant, intense, and deep, and not so spotted. We've got some sparkle pumpkins coming. We got some really neat stuff coming next week. So if you like this week's show, know that next week is our bangin' big Harvest Fest show where we're pulling out all the stops. You think this is fancy? Wait until you're here next week. If you're interested in buying one of the pumpkins, you gotta be on the live show because I guarantee they'll sell out. But as we mentioned, the videos are always on YouTube. You can go back at any time, watch them at your leisure. Fast
Triangular
forward,
shooter.
repeat them, whatever you want.
I go in the right door.
And this time, the annealer oven is behind.
That's a beautiful shape, Dad.
We got Oliver taking it, opening the door, and the annealer's a box that will cool the pumpkin down overnight. Starts around 1200 degrees as that was finished, and it will cool down to 900. When we leave tonight, we turn it off. By morning, it will be cool.
We've had a couple of recommendations for a pumpkin sugar bowl since you did a creamer.
Oh,
Sugar bowl, like a
interesting.
small.
Like a little pumpkin bowl, like an open-topped pumpkin.
with a little lid on it too.
Could do a lid.
Where's my phone? It's around here somewhere. The lidded bowl.
Like is that what I'm imagining? Like a bowl with 3 little leaves, and then it has a little lid with a little leaf trifecta on top that you pull off and use a little mini spoon and pull your sugar out of.
That's exactly what it is. I don't know if you need a lid, but you could do a lid.
Maybe we don't need a lid.
Just
All right, Bess,
Looks like we've got some sort of numbered pile over here.
So that email address is for our question of the week, which is if glass could talk, what would it say when it's being blown?
Here she comes.
Where'd she go? Aha.
Yeah, I was going to say something just touched my foot.
Was she like, oh, it's showtime?
Getting bigger every week. What is it? Oh, thank you.
The pleasure's mine.
Great, thanks.
So
This
last
is the way
week,
she really likes to sit.
Etta went out and got some burrs all in her. And none of us, she wouldn't let us get them out.
Oh, there she goes. She just doesn't
Are
care.
you serious?
She's
What?
in air jail.
That is one photogenic, incredible cat.
Let me take a look at her.
I can't wait until the day when she's like,
Look
oh,
at she's so friendly.
She waved.
oh my goodness.
No way.
She gets bigger every single week still.
She does.
Here's something to check out. Look,
Creamer? That's not a creamer.
it's a sugar bowl.
Well,
So is that what you're making?
Jake,
I want to make it lower and wider, and with our signature colors and those same leaf feet, very similar to that.
I like
but maybe
it.
we'll use the chartreuse yellow.
do you think you
or
could blow
green.
a piece with her over your shoulders?
Maybe.
She may just stay.
It kind of reminds me of one of those big fluffy animals in one of those anime Giblani shows, movies.
I love how
you
her
know what
tail
I'm talking
moves.
about?
All right, back to the glass. blowing.
Incredible.
She just trots off.
Hey, I did want to point out, I just wanted to say, some of you, and I know, Carrie, if you're watching, I'm going to tell you this. These are just scraps of fabric that we got. These are like samples from a design company. And so we work with designers when their sample books, they don't want them anymore. We ask for these because these look great just like if you put your product on top of them. So sometimes if you have a busy countertop, it's too much. Well, this is pretty busy, but you can put like a solid item on it. Or if your item is really busy, if it's got a lot of color in it, you can do something dark that you put it on or light. And it helps make the product sing a little bit. It's just something soft and breaks up, like, so it's not right on a tabletop. It's got a little more fabric. And when you do that, sometimes they reflect patterns or colors and just kind of give it a little more of a pop. So you can see here, like the purple looks really nice. This guy picks up some beautiful tones because there's some purple there. So when you get your pumpkins, you know, you can set them on the table, that's great, but also feel free to decorate them. You could take some leaves from outdoors and put them around the base of your pumpkin. They'll last a few days. And then a couple days later, you change them out for fresh leaves. And it smells good, the extra bonus.
$2.50.
Oliver and I were just brainstorming over here, and sometimes you need to just let the brain settle down. So we're gonna go with the plan, and we're gonna make this beautiful.
Sugar bowl.
Yes. This might be the most decadent sugar bowl one has ever seen.
So I have a question with that. Like, do people use sugar bowls? I use maple syrup in my honey, and my coffee.
I used to have someone living with me that would put brown sugar in their coffee
Oh yeah,
every
brown
morning.
sugar would totally make sense.
I have one, and actually, I got to be back in a minute, you guys. Well, you're starting that because I
My
got my
espresso's sitting
espresso
there?
machine cooking, and I'm going to make a couple shots.
Mid-show shooters?
That's right, mid-show shooters, the MSSs.
Wait, give Oliver
Well,
your mic.
I just saved up and finally got myself a new garage door at home.
I thought you were going to say espresso machine.
No. But if I have a shot of espresso right now and we go home, and for those of you watching out of out of town. It is probably almost coming up on 7 o'clock here, 7 p.m. Then that probably means I'm going to have to go home and just sit in my garage and hit the up and down button for like about an hour and spend some time and get familiar with my new device.
Does it have windows at the top or no?
No windows. That was an extra like $1,000.
Oh, seriously?
No, it wasn't that much, but it felt like a lot. It was already a lot of money. Oh yeah, those are good. Where'd you go?
I went to Prime and Proper. And they make their own vanilla bean vodka, so there was like vanilla bean floating in the martini. Like, I'm not a huge coffee person, and let me tell you, this was out of this world. It was amazing.
Has anybody
Sometimes
out there?
the coffee drinks are so good. Like,
Yeah.
it's the essence of the coffee.
Anybody ever tried an espresso martini, and what did you think of it?
It was fantastic.
I have not
You gotta
had
let us
one.
know.
I need to get in on that.
It sounds really good right now.
It's the trendiest item out there.
Are we going to have that on our menu?
Of course, we're gonna have a coffee machine.
That'll be a Chris special.
Yeah, that'll be a Chris celebrity shot.
What should
You
we
can just
name
make
it?
the espresso.
What?
What should we name it? You
Espresso
guys
martini?
could put it in the chat. If Chris makes an espresso martini, should it be called the 7 p.m. special?
Yeah.
You mind if I talk about
Glass blower's
I got
dream.
Go for it.
The Amtrak ride.
Can you guys hear the train in the mics when it goes by? Let us know in the comments. I'm curious.
All right, for your glass blowers that are watching the show, Jake had a
Very
round
light.
shape,
That's good.
and very subtly, you might have seen him holding it up in the air to let it slump on itself to get this like low bowl shape. In addition, he had his hand on the end of the pipe so the air would not escape. So it allowed it to softly like mushroom out.
All right, let's do a clear patty.
Clear
So we're going
patty.
to start some training videos that have these real subtle things. I talked to Sam.
Grape
she's
and a half.
gonna
Grape and a half.
Yes.
Got it.
She's
okay.
going to help us with the edit so that we can freeze frame the moment, put some arrows, and tell you all the things that are essential.
Double decker.
Maybe that's what it's called, the double decker. There's
And
five
this is the
people
type
here.
of spoon that's going to be fitting right in here. Yeah. That's it.
I can smell that from here.
Oh, Jake, I'm so sorry. It's
There's
2
five
grapes.
of us here. You brought 2 cups
Two
over.
grapes. That's a half grape of waste.
What about Bess or Ellery?
I will.
Chris knows I don't want an espresso at 7 p.m.
Yeah, if I have an espresso right now, I will be bouncing off the walls. I will be like Edda.
Thank you.
You know, Jake, you were talking about garage door opener and all that.
Yeah.
And your new device.
Yes.
I shared this with Jake earlier today, but I hadn't told Chris or Michelle yet. I just got
Leaves.
a little mini annealing oven delivered today.
Yay!
And I was telling Jake how I don't think I can open it up tonight.
Why?
'Cause we
Yeah.
gotta work at 8 a.m. tomorrow, and if I open it up, I'm gonna have to try it.
He's going to set it
And I'm
all
gonna have
up
to
and
put
get it
something
right
in.
there and turn it on and then go to bed. Yeah, right.
That's the worst. Maybe, it's not like an electronic where you have to charge it, so you can open it and enjoy it, but then it has to charge, so you
That's
can't
exactly
play with
what it feels like. Espresso on the bench feels like we're blowing glass in Italy. Ooh, a little espresso dunk. You saying this coffee?
Iris?
Oh,
Green and iris?
we could do green, just iris leaves is cool. We'll do a nice green lipper on it.
Linda says, looking
Iris
forward
leaves.
to receiving my pumpkin. Love all of your beautiful pieces. Hi to all from Sterling Heights. I saw you snagged a beautiful blue pumpkinette, Linda. Congratulations on your snag. Can't wait to see it in person.
How many of our amazing subscribing members have received their signature pumpkin in the mail? Ahead of schedule.
Yeah, pre-release or pre-orders, members got theirs first. Everyone else, Ellery shipped them today. With the exception of a large that we're making tomorrow.
Where are the tweezers? Thanks.
Edda's on my lap, and she's a purring machine right now.
I
What
saw
hap-
her walk by. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, she's vibrating my whole leg.
You guys want to hear the funniest part, though? When we close down the show, Edda gets, until she's a little older, she still gets put in the conference room. But at the end of the show, she will disappear.
It's like she knows.
So we
That's
got to
one of
learn
the-
to grab her before the show's over.
I think that's one of the more symmetrical leaves I've done so far. You learn a lot when it comes to Renaissance season. We're doing so many different styles of product and moving so fast. It's really fun to see all the different types of products. And we get on the show and we really show off what we're working on. And I think those are two of the nicest leaves I've seen. I've been watching, Dad, you've been doing them a lot at the Ren Fair and out here. And just watching them, they're coming out a lot more smooth. And really, so much of the process has to do with the way you cut the bit off, the way Oliver presents it, and the way you cut it, and having enough glass in the right shape. I'm gonna
They
make
look
these
like
a little
angel
longer.
wings,
Make
which
this a little
that's not
taller
a project
sitting.
we did. But what if we made angel wings for the holiday?
That would be serious.
Yeah, people would really like that.
Everybody's loving their signature pumpkins they've gotten so far. Carrie says it's going to her office soon.
How many leaves are you doing?
3.
I was going to talk a little bit right now, and I'm sure everybody can hear me because you guys got your microphones. I'm just
Yep.
a little
We can hear
quiet.
ya.
But Jake went to put that first leaf on, and he put it on, and the tweezers weren't there. And I knocked that last piece off, and I left the tweezers there and at the bench, and it was a mistake, but it was funny because Oliver and I were doing production the other day, and every time I knocked one of the pieces off, I'd leave the tweezers up there, and then he would just take another pair off the back of the bench and put them there. And eventually, there was like 5 pair of tweezers up there. We were out of them at the bench. But that's something that's not a good thing. But normally, when we're blowing right now on the show, you guys, Jake and I switch up, and that's something we do out at the Ren as well. But we also don't do that during the day when we're blowing glass and we're doing production. One person's got their bench set up and that's it, and you work at your bench. So I got to make sure that I don't do that. I don't walk away with important tools that Jake might need.
Got a question that you guys can answer. Kathy says, can you still blow glass in the winter?
Oh, that's a great question. Blowing glass in the winter, we did. I did an event once at Coonan's Brewery over in Warren, Michigan, where we had a tent. We had 2 feet of snow, and we were in the tent blowing glass, and it was about 15 degrees out. And you can blow glass because that cold temperature from 0 to 32 doesn't really affect the glass at all. It just affects the people watching you blow glass because they're all freezing, and we're in there with shorts on, sweating, blowing glass. So, but you can blow glass in the winter for sure. I have been getting pretty excited about wanting to do some tasty lidded vessels.
Yeah.
You know, and even in the harvest season, if we just pimped them out, that'd be great.
Look at the presentation of the garage and notice how incredibly satisfying and amazing it's going to be when we do our next goblet show.
To have it right there.
I mean, did you explain to everybody about the setup already
Not
today?
really. You could break it down for them.
What we did, you guys, if you look over here a little bit, is we took the glory hole that was all the way over here up against the wall, and I repiped it and moved it all the way over to the left, about 7 or 8 feet over to the left, and we took the garage, which was way over there in the far corner, and we pulled it out over here, and we piped it in over here. So now we've got this beautiful, tasty area to do demonstrations and stuff, which we're going to be doing when the event space is fully done and open. We're going to be doing some amazing events with people watching us, and we need that space.
Also, it's just a trimming and an efficiency breakdown and rehaul of what we use here at the studio. What do we need? What don't we need? What are essential things? The whole studio has been shrunk back with the addition of this bar, and just like Chris was saying, the event space and whatnot. And it's really allowing for us to, just like when you move homes, you switch something up in your life, you recognize that you might have a little more than you need, and you get rid of some things, and we keep the essential things. It's been a very wholesome purging of the studio.
I'm working hard over here, folks.
Oh yeah.
Wow, look at that. She's even needing some bread on those legs.
She's needing some bread on my inner thigh with those sharp nails, which is a little tight, but
She's still got
wake
some
you right
burrs.
up with the espresso.
Home
She's
for the
still got
spoon.
some burrs on the underside of her tail.
Green lipper.
yeah. Dingle burrs, those things aren't good.
Dingleberries?
No, dingle burrs.
Oh.
Dingleberries, we're not talking about those.
Well, those are no good either.
But she was getting ready to jump up on Bess's lap, and Bess had her hand out, and all I did was go. And I took my hand and went like this. She came running over and jumped
a
up right
traitor.
next to me.
She's a traitor.
Traitor. Hi, baby.
I'm not going to trim this. This looks amazing, and I'm going to leave it thick.
Working her pudge.
I do want to say
Yes.
that
She's knocking
moving the
all the
glory
forks
hole
out.
over, bringing that garage in to this side of the shop has been like such a no-brainer. But almost every single day recently, Jake and I have come in and we're wondering about these tables and where these
Yeah.
tables need to go.
Gosh.
These tables have broken our brains.
Broken your brains?
These student tables over here, we're trying to think about where they go best.
Are you ready on this one, Oliver?
I'm ready right now.
All right, let's do it.
Going for the lip wrap. That
felt
was a
pretty
nice lip
smooth.
wrap there, Jake.
That was about as pristine as it could have been.
There's some people here asking on the live feed that if your lip quivers when you put a lip wrap on.
Everyone knows
Was
that
my
it
lip
does.
quivering?
I zoomed in on it.
No way.
We didn't get any of the glass action. We were just on your lips.
At first, I kind of thought it was a concentration pucker, but I think it was a lip wrap quiver.
Gosh, darn it.
The LWQ.
I was doing it again.
All right, I just have a mic. Will someone let Amy know yes, she can work New Year's with us?
Yes,
Amy.
Amy.
Amy can work New Year's with us.
Confirmed. All right, it's a lot of sugar.
That's looking pretty sugary. It kind of looks a little bit Limburgery. And if anyone out there can put it inside the live channel here, the chat, and tell me what Limburgery means and what accent that is.
She's going to knock that whole cup off of the marver. What happens if they can guess it correctly?
She literally just bit the fork and tried to pull it out because she wants pumpkin pie goodness.
Watch this move, Dad.
Etta, where are your manners?
She doesn't have them.
The sit down effect.
The big sit-downer.
Etta, come on. Are you checking the comments?
On there?
So yeah, normally when you open up a piece like this, there's
Good.
another tool that you can use. It's called the parchoffi, guys. And the parchoffis are like a cherry wood dowel that's rounded at the end, and it's used just like a pair of jacks, and you can put them up on the inside.
Okay.
And it was really amazing because even to this day in Murano, they use like an asbestos handled parchoffi action, and it's really not that good for you, but the traditional
Real light,
Italian
but-
blowers
light
use
but
those
firm.
things. But you use them to really get in there and have something bigger than just the sharp tips of the jacks to do your low bowl. But I can tell you what,
Look at that.
after a certain point of making a lot of low bowls, just like when we were taking some classes a long time ago from Lino, he would just open them up and just use gravity and spin them out and not even have to do anything. And at the very end, he'd just touch them with his jacks for a second and be like, complete.
Okay, so if you were getting new to making low bowls,
Let me hit
why
that.
are the Pachovis better?
Parchobies.
They're soft. They don't just suck the heat out.
You can just push the glass around with them. Basically, you can kind of call it manhandle the glass.
Get a little more aggressive with it without like scarring up the
Okay.
glass itself with a metal tool.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I've seen those a lot in like Instagram reels and stuff like that, people using parchovies. I've just never understood why use a consumable jack over just some nice jacks.
It helps out a lot, and it makes it a little bit easier. It's kind of like when you have to use the crutch on the pool table.
For all you glass blowers out there, you heard it. You heard it here first.
I've never been
That's how I feel about the blocks.
I've never been so encouraged to not try a tool ever.
Go ahead and
We
try
don't
it.
teach block using around here. You take it straight to the marver, folks. Look at the way that falls and just tucks and pillows down elegantly
It does.
into that region.
It looks really pumpkin-like.
It's like an upside down pumpkin turnover that you
Ooh.
can put sugar in or anything.
Like creme brulee.
You could put a creme brulee in there, ice cold. This is
Nice.
honestly super cool. I'm proud of this one. Let's get a stamp on it before we bling it up.
Oh, you're right. You don't want to sign it.
Thank
I
you.
remember somebody telling me something about this button on the camera that allows you to move the camera, but I'm afraid to touch it, so
You just gotta thumb it.
Work it.
I mean,
Yeah. Oh, he's figuring out the gimbal. And you go up and down with it, and it's like airplane mode. You go up, and it goes down.
Oh, it's joystick like Battle Zone.
Yeah,
Pam said that would be good for cranberry sauce on Thanksgiving.
totally would be.
A lot of
I'm
people.
in love with this thing.
I'm so glad she's just hanging out with you there, Shell.
Oh,
She's a terror.
jeez.
Going for the GA stamp, folks, on this gorgeous looking little sugar bowl / cranberry special. You just can't put any cranberries that have the cranberry skins on them and stuff.
Yeah, you can.
Only the jelly special, man. The jelly.
The jelly with skin.
In tin can form. You can't mash it up.
It's
you
got to
gotta
just be in a
tubify it right in the middle
big
of it.
old tube of it.
Yes. Those are the best cranberries there are.
I'm in love with this thing. Let's get some gold on the leaves and knock it off and save it because I really, really, really do love it.
Just like I love tube cranberries.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Holy
Look at the bling.
crap.
Let's go in.
And that's a green lip wrap, too.
After this, we'll go into some housekeeping.
That sounds great. Thanks for the heads up, Bess.
Of course.
Tender.
The royal request for a sugar bowl has been satisfied.
That's right.
Now we're going to be torching that little tiny chip away on the bottom, which isn't even going to be able to be noticed.
They're not gonna notice it.
You won't even notice it.
Whoa. That's a nice looking piece, Jake.
Thanks.
You
Give
got
him
the
a round of
Yeah.
thumbs up there, you guys. A round of thumbs.
I really do love that one.
Dude, that's
freaking
super
tight.
organic, really nice.
Really cool. And I got reminded of the amazing pumpkins that were in that box just now, so you guys better join us next week for the 2-hour virtual pumpkin show. Take it away, Bess.
All right, so we've got housekeeping with my little helper here. Couple of things we've got. Don't forget that next week is our big 2-hour virtual pumpkin show. We've got a lot of fun things in store. We've got a lot of amazing product. So don't forget to tune in. We'll be right here, as always, starting at our normal starting time. We're just going for 2 hours. I know that we've been going only an hour and a half in these warmer months, but it will be a full 2-hour show.
That's true.
I've got a burr. Here you go.
Thank you.
We gave away another class this weekend at Renfest. Crazy. We're doing that every single weekend.
Every week.
And so our Renfest class winner, so that's a class for 2, this week is Pat. So congratulations to Pat. You're going to receive an email. And
Congrats, Pat.
You're gonna get some instructions on how to redeem that. So congratulations. Our question for last week. I know that we ran out of time and we didn't get to make a giveaway piece. So Jake, could you just show off what we're giving away this week?
Oh. Yeah, we're giving away this incredible Glass Academy original orange spored super shroom with the powerful, thick mycelium bottom and then the plumed out atomic bomb top. It's a really ridiculous piece. It's one of my favorite mushrooms in the gallery, but when we don't make something specifically on the show, we can't give you guys something that's not 100% super baller.
And we
Absolutely.
think that one would match all your pumpkin swag.
Absolutely.
Our question for last week was, have you tried kombucha? Really, it was split down the middle with yeses and nos. Some people are absolutely in love with it. Some people are not. There's one flavor somebody mentioned that I have never heard of in a kombucha, a chocolate mint kombucha.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. So let's see here. I'm one-handed. Our winner said no, but they are interested in learning more about kombucha. So congratulations to Diana.
All right.
Congratulations, Diana.
So Diana, you're going to receive an email from Donna on how to redeem your winning. So congratulations.
Which is
Diana.
great. I'm going to share those answers with Rachel so she knows.
Diana's a classic member, been watching for a long time, so it feels good to give out a piece to somebody who's really got a collection of Glass Academy product. Congrats,
And
Absolutely.
Diana.
So congratulations.
Mushroom's pretty sweet.
It is. Nice and pumpkin themed too, nice and bright orange.
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 So does that wrap up the
I think
housekeeping?
that's all the housekeeping I've got. Michelle,
I
anything
agree.
to add? Just make sure you tune in next week for our giant pumpkin show.
It's going to be insane. Can I point out a couple things on the virtual gallery over here?
Yes, I will say two things. One, last weekend of Renaissance, and number two, what are we hiring? Who are we hiring?
Last weekend in Renaissance, we are hiring an event sales person that will organize and maintain the Michigan Room, sell corporate events, private events, sell classes, and be the person on the phone making it happen for the Glass Academy. I've got an interview later this week with one potential amazing candidate. And if you know anybody else, send them our way. We're super excited that we're able to take on another full-time employee and get another amazing person added to the team. And if you know anyone,
You get
holler.
a $100 gift card if we hire them.
If it's a reference, $100 gift card. Do you have a mic on? Yeah, they heard that. The two things I wanted to mention on the remaining pumpkins out here, and then we'll get to the action because Chris is starting up a piece right now, is this one somehow might have, I don't know what the picture looks like on the website, but with the LED, look at what's going on in the body of this pumpkin. This is actually technically almost a Van Gogh pumpkin. It's deep, iridescent golds and browns with the light, subtle hinted stem. I think this is a subtle, beautiful thing for someone who's not into all the electric craziness. The other thing, number 15 here, is this is one of the only pumpkins to have the signature sparkle on it that's not a traditional orange color for this year, because this was specific to a special gift we gave out to a lot of our subscribers, and there was, it seems, one or two left over, so one's
and number
available
16?
tonight. Number 16 is a crackler.
Yeah, I know.
Look at it. It was dunked in water. And this is that same green I
Super
just put on the lip
reflective.
wrap there and used on the original mug. And we'll see if Chris uses any of this in his piece.
I got the burrs out of her tail.
Nice. It's about time.
Well, I'm yawning, so clearly I didn't have a ton of espresso. What do you think you're going to do with this fork?
Yeah.
That's how you do it, folks.
Now, if Etta jumps on it, it won't be pretty.
All right, I'm getting into the comments, folks. If you have any questions about anything in particular, holler. I see one here from John. He's asking if the 2-hour shows continue after the Pumpkin Fest. And yes, considering the hot months are complete, the phone can handle the timing, and we're done with the Renaissance Festival, we are going to get back into our traditional 2-hour Gathering Point weekly shows.
What would you like to see on those shows? Why don't you guys tell us in the chat?
We've mentioned it on the Anneal Reveal. We've mentioned it live that we have our shows 2 weeks planned ahead now. We're more prepared than ever. And now is a great time to give us some suggestions because we just might implement
Your suggestion.
your thought.
Give us your thoughts.
Give him to us. What's up, Masayo? All the way over on the West Coast. Looks like Vicky's got a pink crackler. I wonder what, if you weren't watching a glass blowing show and you didn't know about our pumpkins, what would a pink crackler refer to?
Sounds like a firework.
A firework? Totally. Yeah.
Hello?
What up, Brendan on YouTube? Looking amazing.
Diana says, cool beans. This is the first time winning glass. Thank you, everyone.
Wow, Diana, that's what I'm talking about.
Jake,
Yes.
while you were going over the table, I was asking Chris if he had placed his espresso in the traditional placement on the bench, like for the island of Murano, if this was the traditional espresso placement.
And what did he say?
He said yes.
Well, I guess I'll get back to my work over here.
I'm curious, how many people have been to Murano and watched the glass blowing factories? If you've been over there, would you throw something in the chat?
Holler
They're
at
different
us.
now than they were in the past, but it's pretty interesting to go over there and watch the glass blowing. So if you've been there, tell us what year you went maybe and what you saw being made.
What up to my amazing friends, Jessica and Tatiana over in Kalamazoo. Hope it's a beautiful day over there. It's such a nice fall, rainy, cozy day over here right now. Starting to get kind of dark out again during these shows.
It is.
It's kind of interesting.
I love how you never liked that cart and now you're like snuggled up to it with your coffee.
I don't have that much of a problem with the cart.
You keep
It's
inching
just
closer.
organized now for the most part. It's not just a bundle of random things.
Well, and there's no more like tech stuff on there because before it was just wires and chaos.
Craziness.
Yeah.
Well, we've changed.
I just want to mention that goblet, the second piece that was made, is still available. So if you guys were interested in that piece, it's still up.
Paddle. Go ahead and press. Good. My leaves.
Coming right up. Do you want your leaves in a chartreuse or jungle green?
Bess is working on getting that insanely beautiful sugar bowl up on the website, and that one might be coming home with me if it doesn't sell, folks. So just watch out.
Could we have it at Thanksgiving meal with cranberry sauce in it?
Only the tube cranberries, though.
We're having the real cranberries with like orange juice and orange peel. None of that weird jellified junk from a can.
John is suggesting maybe he'd like to see a prototype show. Kind
That
of
was
like
kinda
what the
like
experimental show
experimental.
was, but live here. And John, I know you've seen them before, but just for everybody else, when you get the prototype, and it's already kind of a difficult thing what we're doing here. Making products, a lot of them on the fly, things we know, but unique designs, making them available to you, dictating the process, talking about everything that's happened with all kinds of mojo. And when it gets into prototyping, Michelle's pretty good at being loose about it, coming up with cool ideas and doing it, but sometimes when we're prototyping pieces live on the show, I can't really handle it. It takes it one step too far for me because it's like just one too many things. I'm talking about it and trying to make it, and I know I should know by now that the second and third try are all going to be derpy and weird looking, but I come to expect it to be perfect on the first time.
Well, maybe that's exactly what you need, Jake.
Maybe that's the thing that needs to be fixed, but
on the web.
I'm saying it doesn't like really get me
Immortalized.
that riled up to come out onto a live show and be like, let's just make a bunch of mistakes and figure it out for the audience. But
Okay, you know what?
I do
So
hear where you're
maybe-
coming from, John.
Then I'll do it because I think it's so fun.
Yeah, and I'll just work
true.
the camera. I love working the camera.
All
But
right.
Now, Jake, do you remember when we were designing the sheep, how we had to sit down and we just like talked
Take
it out
a
a little
break.
bit?
Yeah, I do
Like,
remember that.
That was cool. I feel like I feel like you enjoyed that too.
Absolutely, I do. It's true.
But I
Sometimes
get that it's hard to do that in the moment.
When you're blowing glass, it's a matter of assisting and taking turns and letting. You need time to think while you're watching the other person do it, because when you're on cue trying to do it, it is hard, like Jake says. It's hard to stop and be like, wait a second, that was a wrong move. I want to start over. And we're so not used to just being like, okay, trash that one, bring me another one, let's start over.
The Sugar Bowl is available. Sorry to interrupt.
No problem.
Sugar Bowl is available. Goblet made earlier is available, so you guys can access that through the link I just put in the comments. And sorry, back to you, Jake.
Beautiful. You guys like the feed. If you guys are watching on YouTube, let's get a couple more likes on there. If you're watching on Facebook, like the feed. Send us some mojo.
Reminder of our question tonight too.
You have a question?
No, it's reminder of our question tonight.
Oh yeah. You reminded them, all right.
You can.
If glass could talk, what would it say when it's being blown?
It would say,
Or
oh, that
being
feels so
born.
good. I've been too compacted, I want to stretch.
I would say the stretch is a great answer for sure. There was a comment I wanted to answer here. Oh, Sharon said, what is the next animal you're going to do? Sharon is referring to our newly started second annual creature release. And that's going to be in the springtime. We're going to take January and February, our recovery months after all this craziness we're in the midst of right now, and we will design a new creature. Last year was the sheep. We spent quite a few shifts prototyping it, and then we made 2 or 3 or 4 shifts worth of actual complete sheep once we were proud and happy of the product. And we did a show, we revealed them, we had them in the gallery, and when they sold out, they sold out. That was our first ever creature release. This next year...
So, what do you think? What do you guys think?
We have a list on our organizational virtual board
And
that
let's
has, I
see
think,
if-
like 6 or 8 different creatures on there. And one of them's
and
a
let's
turt,
see what they say if it's one that we wanted to do.
a little turtle. We've got,
Don't tell them. Let's see what they say.
okay, you guys, let's hear some suggestions. A giant monkey,
I'm excited for next year.
a flying pig.
Now remember,
That's right, Kathy.
we came out with snails, and then we did slugs,
Snails and slugs.
and then we did, first we did slugs, then snails, and now they seem to be the rage. So I want to remind you, we're ahead of the curve.
Yes. We didn't make it a classic yearly thing, but we have designed and produced and released multiple creatures since, the dawn of time, but really 20 years of the Glass Academy. And then most recently, I feel like since the pandemic, we've been really pumping out different types of creatures specifically. So
The gnomes.
it's cool. Gnomes. I don't know if they're a creature. They're more of like a
It was creatures and characters.
character. Yep.
The Sugar Bowl did sell.
Sugar Bowl's gone. Who got it? What does their first name start
It's
with the
going
letter?
home with the creamer.
Oh, double combo? Second letter of their first name. Ah, it's an E. I know that person. Absolutely.
I'm excited for next year doing the creatures. I think like our little discussion about the sheep was some of like the favorite videos for me this year.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to see like where we take the documentation and filming of like the creation of a creature and the ideation.
How much better documentation we can do?
Yeah.
This is a final blaster product right here, right now. What color? So Oliver, do you want to give your perspective on what makes this handle happen perfectly, and then I'll kind of I'll give my perspective. What's so funny?
Guys, we've been doing so many of these handles at the Renaissance Festival, and I've struggled through a lot of these handles at the Renaissance Festival. These are so hard to bring.
And here, you were working with Chris when all those products on the table were made.
Yeah, that was... These take like the utmost focus, so it's everything challenging about a handle. You only get one time for it. Your bubble has to be perfect. Even more so about the bubbles, like centerness has to be perfect. The thickness has to be just right, so you just can't shoot any bubble through. And then you have to get it so hot at this phase right now that Jake's doing. Chris, are you done opening that up?
Yeah, no, I'm going to open one more time.
Okay. He has to get the heat so hot so that when he hits the mold, he gets the ribs on there nicely, but he retains so much heat afterwards to keep the core temperature up.
That was a mouthful. If you're a glass blower, a lot of that's going to make sense. If you're not a glass blower, let me just tell you, it's super subtle. The timing is everything. You can see Jake watching Chris. He knows what it needs to be brought. Chris knows if he's going to need to flash the piece or not. But Jake turning the pipe faster now. It's super hot. Not in the mold too long so it doesn't absorb the heat.
And not
if he was
blowing in the
making
mold
a
too hard.
pumpkin, he would have been in there longer.
I think this might be a perfect one.
A quick roll on the marver so it doesn't absorb too much heat. And now he's going to get it nice and hot while
But
Chris
not too
gets
hot.
all his tools set up.
Now, all these moves are difficult, but these are arguably the easy moves leading up to the hardest move.
Yeah.
Jake gets that heat just right. And now he's going to let Chris stick that on there. Chris stretches. Jake starts twisting. This is where the wall thickness comes into place. And this is where it gets super tenuous. He's got to keep the amount of tension.
Jeez! Look at that! Are you serious?
Something.
What is going on?
And during all that twisting, at any
Oh my
moment, it can
God.
like fold up on itself and crumple.
Any
That was
glass blowers
intense.
watching must know what just went down. That was probably the longest handle we ever put on.
Yeah, I agree.
That thing was flopping and flapping and getting all kinds of rowdy.
To get a little more heat out of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
You want it pretty radical, or?
Bigger so I can just keep the end up a little and tighten it up.
All right.
I think my computer is like, the analytics takes data and I think it
Can I turn off the analytics?
yeah, I can turn it off. Yeah.
So we've been doing a bunch of stems like these at the Renaissance Festival, and it has thoroughly busted my brain.
Wow.
But I feel like I'm at the point where it still should bust my brain. I feel like I just started getting handles down not that long ago.
Are we still doing giveaway?
All right, the stamper is that small bit of glass that Oliver's going to grab, and they're going to attach.
That is one beautiful ceremonial harvest season mug, you guys. I'm talking tasty.
Are you sure? Next week's a longer show.
All right, Oliver, yeah, you didn't get it last week. You can get it. Oliver, I'm gonna need a fling with
Oh, yeah, I'll make it happen.
Folks, this is typically the end of the show, but I'm going to get started in the background on the giveaway product, which you guys are gonna fall in love with. We can't go 2 weeks not making it on the show for you. So just watch that piece come off and then we'll talk business over here.
Giveaway question for this week is if glass could talk, what would it say when it's being blown? So you're going to send your answer to enews@glassacademy.com with your name and answer in the email, please. Thank you. And you'll get entered to win whatever Jake is whipping up right now.
That's a ridiculously baller piece. That might be one of the nicest. This has been a really good show. One of the nicest pumpkin mugs I've seen this year. And it's the signature colors.
Right behind you.
Carrie says that is the pimpest celebratorial drinking vessel ever.
You want me grabbing right off the Evolio?
Yeah. You're gonna have to flip it because it won't sit on the flip.
Oh.
I can flip it.
Check this move out.
You can flip it with that?
I don't know.
The pure panic in your voice, Oliver.
Do it, boys. The poor thing's looking lonely over there. Yes. Oliver, when you're done closing that door, can I get some air from you?
Yes, you can. Super nice, Chris.
Is it going to be a diamond pumpkin?
First of its kind. Starts with an A, ends with an
Apple?
ut.
Acorn.
Or actually doesn't end with an ut. Blow light. Good. All right, Dad, you want to gather it up? Yes. Now, I know that move looked quick, folks, but there's nothing easy about what just happened there. It took
At
me a
all.
long time to figure that out.
That's
and have
like a sweet move.
perfectly
That's
symmetrical.
like a good practice move for the apprentices to do. You know, if you're at work and Jake's got to take a phone call to practice an acorn top, that's a pretty sweet,
I agree.
right? You can do it out of recycled glass. Just around to remind you, if you have not,
Oh, the bell means send an emoji.
send an emoji. Put your favorite emoji in the chat.
That's just the perfect size. We got some adventurine powder out there, some sparkle bling bling, and we're going for that same orange and power bling combo. And Dad, if you could really just put that adventurine on at the very last moment if possible.
Too much sparkle doesn't do well. Too much of a good thing sometimes is not too much of a good thing.
These acorns are really difficult to make, folks. We don't, they're priced kind of high. They're a lot of glass. They take a lot of time to do. I tried to get a head start on it, but they take time because they're completely solid. And at the same time, you've got a blown cap on it, which is closest to the moil up here. So when you go for your reheats to try and equalize all the temperature, innately the cap is the coldest and the tip of it, the nut, wants to stay the hottest. It's really hard to get an equal temperature in order to put it away and not have it slump or change in the annealing oven. If we haven't spoke about how our pieces are cooled down overnight, you may not have known. But all those pieces we put into the box, and most of them I think that have been purchased from the show here tonight, are cooling down over 16 hours, and we'll ship them out tomorrow or the next day. We got to have time to do an annealer reveal. Yeah, I'll give it a, no, I'll just take it like that.
Thursday.
Straight from the oak tree. Ow, that's a finger sizzler.
The sizzler.
Is that the type of tree that produces
Oak? Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes after a long
mother
day of
oak.
work,
Other oak.
it doesn't, the day kind of blends together and you think, what? Did I say that right?
It is indeed an oak tree.
Just tucked it right into place there.
No way.
Did
No
it.
way.
Tucker.
Big
I know that guy,
Tucker.
Tucker.
And now I'm going to fold her down right to where she belongs in nut form.
You know that little thing in the van in Van Gogh is an acorn, the smiley one?
Yeah. You hear it really quietly. You can hear the acorn. You can hear the squirrels thinking about the acorn. She's walking with
Squirrel.
Oh.
Listen, guys, you can hear it. They sound like this.
That was terrible in my ear.
That was
That's the sound of a bunch of squirrels looking at the acorn just thinking, mighty goodness.
So our giveaway question to win this piece is, if glass could talk, what would it say when it's being blown? Send your answer to enews@glassacademy.com with your name, and we will draw the winner, give this away during our amazing virtual pumpkin show next week. Got a lot in store for you guys, a full 2-hour show again.
yes.
Got some amazing pieces. We're going to be making some amazing things live. I'm super excited for you guys to see what we have in store.
Do you think the glass uses the same catchphrases that Jake does?
It's possible.
What's going on? Take a flash. I'll heat those up.
Hey,
So Oliver is reheating the tweezers. We're going to try that again.
Thanks, Oliver. Really
so there
appreciate
is
that.
one more thing this acorn needs, and that's a little top. So that's going to be the final step. The thing is, with a solid glass, you have to give it time to cool off before you move to the next step, because it will still be moving. So it's kind of like babysitting the glass to cool off. All right, Beth, any final comments here on the show?
Carol says that's a huge acorn. Sharon says Chris is spinning a yarn again. Kathy says she's got acorns all over the ground right now. Annette says she loves her acorn that she has at home. We do still have the goblet that was made earlier available. I will be getting a price on the mug and getting the mug posted probably right after the show ends here. But I'll get that up so you guys can keep an eye out for that as well. Chris currently has my clipboard, so I'll see if I can sneak it in before the show ends here.
Yes, please. Dad, would you give me a little bling in 1 sec when you're done with that?
So this fan, this black thing right here is a fan,
That's the one.
and he's cooling it off because
Look at that
it
metallic
takes a hot
action.
minute to cool off. Super sparkle. How many glass blowers does it take to work on
Yep.
an acorn? 3.
So we're iridizing the top, the stem, just like on our signature pumpkins, that iridescent gold stem. I'm gonna cool down the very tip of it again, but not cool down the hollow topper. Then we're gonna come over here and make this happen. About
All right.
ready, Oliver? Chris is ready.
I snuck that mug up, so you guys, the goblet and the mug are available.
Heard. Ho-ho! Here he comes. We got some diamonds. Could you grab the diamonds, Dad? Acorn stopper topper. And whenever you go for the psh, you got to give it the whoosh. Yep. Here it comes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh! The psh and sh.
3 people to make an
Got the granny
acorn.
grabbers.
So that's a beautiful giveaway
Show it
for
off one
next
time
week.
for the camera.
Jake, we have one technical question if we can answer it before we end as well.
Yep,
Wow.
I don't think anybody's listening to me yet.
I'll tell them.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
So, Michelle, the question is, once a piece goes in the annealer, does it have to be in there for some time before you start the cooling cycle?
So we have the annealer on the whole time during the day. So the first piece you made in the morning it will soak. We call that a soak cycle. The Acorn, you know, our pieces aren't giant size, so you don't need a big soak cycle. Soaking would be letting it sit in there for a little while. So we don't, because our pieces are not big. If you had something big, yes, you would soak it. And that means leaving it at a temperature to maintain for a little while and then turn it down.
And there you
Good
go.
question.
All right, so you just got the full tour of the shop, folks. There it is. Gotta have it hot. We got some beautiful products still on the virtual display here, and we're gonna leave them up through the week. But consider drinking out of a ridiculous pumpkin
On
6
Halloween,
leaf,
when you have your fire outside and you're drinking your...
passing out candy.
Yeah. It could
Yeah,
happen.
it's
It
beautiful.
could be you.
We appreciate you all. We love our VIP members and subscribers and everyone who supports what we do.
Best
Nice
is out
work,
here
team.
Kicking it with Etta.
Bess is kicking it hard.
We're just chilling.
All right, we'll see you next week on the virtual show. Consider having a watch party. Bring your friends, bring your checkbook, bring your credit cards, because we're going to have a good old time with some amazing pumpkins next week.
Absolutely. We'll see
All
you
right,
guys next
everybody.
week.
Bye-bye now.
Have a good night.